Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily AI Show. It is Thursday, February 19th, and this is episode 664. And so Monday is going to be a hell of a day. Let's just anticipate that on our episode 666. Hope you join us for that and tomorrow as well. I am Beth Lyons. I am in the studio with Karl. Yay. And we're really good to see you. We're really happy to see you. Karl, how are you doing today? What's happening in your world?
Same old, I guess. In however we working with AI, working with clients and doing stuff. How are you? How are you today, Beth?
I am doing okay. This is a comment that you made right before we went on the air. We're definitely going to have some news stories for you. We're maybe going to demo a thing or two, but also there's a lot of rumor happening. There's a lot of not news, but news. So that's what we're going to do today. What's your top of mind first thing that you want to share today?
I think I wanted to go over, first of all, Apple. I don't think we covered this. Is Apple working on the 3 AI wearables that was being it was on Mac Rumors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's smart glasses, a wearable AI pin or pendant, and AI AirPods, which AI AirPods makes sense to me. So they wanted to take, they saw the disaster that was probably the humane pin and said, hey, we can probably make it better or make a bigger disaster. So we want to do that too. And hey, while we're at it, let's go see if we can, I guess what would be, let's make up for the not so great with Apple Vision Pro with our own smart glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking those 3. Some of the features here. So this is again Mac Rumors. Advanced eye camera system with high-res camera, capture photos and videos, as well as a second camera that provides visual information to Siri and environmental context. The second camera will be able to interpret the user's surroundings and measure distance, similar to LiDAR on the iPhone. They want to make it stand out from Meta with higher end camera, so which means more expensive. That's how I saw that. No display, will not include a display in the lens, voice-based interface, and the glasses will support interacting with Siri, making phone calls, listening to music. I don't know why you would listen to music while you have these, so does that mean it'll come with like speakers, which then everyone can listen to what you're listening to, which I think is still really dumb.
Do you call people and say, oh, I got a song I need you to hear, just listen, because I'm listening, we're listening with my glasses.
So there's visual intelligence, able to read physical text and then add information to calendars, context aware reminders. And then they talk about build quality, which obviously with Apple, they'll probably want to make it more ridiculous in terms of like the build quality off the Meta Ray-Bans. But I was like, high-end materials, including acrylic elements for premium feel, multiple sizes, colors, more styles, embedded battery.
So we're going to Apple it.
Yes.
And we're going to lock it down so you can't do anything with it. Embedded battery. We're hoping it doesn't get really hot.
Yes, we're praying that it doesn't get really hot. And it hopefully is not heavy because, whatever you're going to do with it. So more details on the pin. The pin will have a camera, lower resolution camera. You know what? Could you picture somebody having the Apple glasses, Apple pin, and Apple AirPods with their watch and their phone all decked out? I could see that.
Well, isn't the pin going to be like the Star Trek thing? Like you're going to go,
yes,
hey everybody, or like, hey, look at my chest. I got to take a picture of you. Like, what is that?
It's gonna be this. So something's beeping. So you're like, I don't know what it is. So you're gonna tap your glasses, not there. Look at your phone, kind of weird. Tap your pin, and then while you're at it, hit your AirPod. So you're
Yeah.
gonna be tapping yourself, figuring out where is this thing coming from. Or do you remember? Do you remember in The Office, Woof.com?
Uh-huh.
Remember that episode? So everything's beeping, all of it.
Yes.
Your entire body is beeping from all the pins that are coming, all the stuff that you've decided to put on. So yeah, exactly. So on the pin, there's a microphone. Um,
Right.
it's supposed to be marketed as an iPhone accessory, not a standalone product, which I think decreases its overall kind of like, if I have an iPhone, what the hell do I need this thing for? Like, if it's an accessory, then what does it do that my watch and my phone, like if you have an Apple Watch, what does that do? A speaker. So if I have a watch, why would I need this? Because I was like, what am I speaking to? And like, anyway, so, and then AirPods, AirPods are AirPods. So that is, yeah.
And we had like AI AirPods. We have AI AirPods,
I
right?
thought we did. Yeah.
We have AirPods that function like hearing aids, and we have AirPods that translate. Maybe AirPods don't translate yet, but
Yeah.
I thought so. Do you give
Yeah,
your AirPod to? I don't know. Do you share? I was gonna say, do you give your AirPod to your person who you want to translate to, and then I don't know. Do you share what you stick in your ear? I think I don't.
I try not to. Like,
Right?
I'm sure some people do, but just to quickly, like, hey, listen to this if you can't hear anything, or I don't
Well,
know.
then you just hold it.
Wouldn't you just take it off Bluetooth and like
Yes.
listen? Unless you're in a setting where you need only you two can hear it. I don't know, whatever. Or you know, it'd be funny. It's like you take it, hey, listen to it, and then you put
Right.
the pin to your ear, which
Right.
again makes it even more stupid.
Yep. Yeah. No, I was installing WhisperFlow the other day. And Monologue, if you're a subscriber to every.to, Monologue for iOS came out, but I was installing WhisperFlow because it has not come out. Monologue hasn't come out for Windows, and I have a Windows computer. And WhisperFlow was promoting like, yes, you can whisper to it if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. I do my work in a space where I can make all kinds of noise, as obvious, because look at us making noise now. But the voice is such a big thing that you do actually want something that you can go low volume to if you want.
Well,
All right.
WhisperFlow does a really good job of that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and I think the AirPods do that as well. Like you can be pretty, like I don't have AirPods, so I don't use AirPods, so I don't know. Like my wife has it, so she uses it, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I know she has AirPods and a watch. I don't have either, so she's a lot more on that than I would.
And Apple is having an event on March 4th. And the
Okay.
event is called something.
It's called something.
The image is a green, yellow apple with separations in it. So, but they're going to announce various things. All right.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's like the MacBook, maybe. I don't know. Like I think they have the MacBook Pro 14, but they don't have the Max version of the. I don't know what they're. I think M5. I think the Max version of the M5. They don't have that yet.
Yeah, and they don't have an upgraded studio yet. And if they're smart, I mean, obviously, Apple decisions need to be made in time for production to ramp up and to be able to do that. But I am seeing more people, which is still very small, deep in the bubble. But if you want to run something locally and have it do a bunch of things, souped up Mac Studio seems to be the choice, right? And then you can make really 24-hour models running on a local, running on a big local model as agents developing things for you. All right, cool. Hey, yes. Hey, Anne, in the chat. You're welcome to join the show if you'd like. But here we go. Um, so what else you got? I'm gonna pull up my yeah.
Which we kind of didn't talk to yet about yesterday was so ByteDance says it will add safeguards to Seed Dance, which my thinking was, if you get a cease and desist letter and you're a Chinese company, I'd wonder, it's like, do you take that seriously? You're like, yeah, okay. Will we put out statement? Because I actually was like, okay, what's the likelihood that, like, how will you take them to court? Like, I guess if they have an office in like the United States, maybe you can, but I'm not sure, right? So I'm because I thought it's like, okay, they'll kind of look at that and be like, cease and desist, who cares? But I also think too, even if ByteDance ceases and desists, what is to prevent, which the technology is already out there, what is to prevent any company, any open source company, to abide by that? Like, I think you've opened the Pandora's box, and that box cannot be closed.
Right. And you and we're speaking as though North America is the only game, right? Because the cease and desist comes from the US, right?
Yes.
And that doesn't mean that there isn't a model farm that comes up in Saudi Arabia that makes it really easy to get to, and then right, like the shell game that has happened isn't new to this situation.
Correct.
So, like, the workaround is already pretty much set. I'm very excited about ByteDance, Seed Dance coming out next week. It's already out. You can see it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's available via Chinese services. And for me, the big deal breaker is often you need a Chinese telephone, and that's doable, but just a bridge too far for me. I can wait.
I think you can wait. I think most of us can wait. We don't need, because do you remember what was the model or something that came out?
It was Kling.
Was it Kling? You needed.
You downloaded it.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I downloaded, and so I was like, but if you, I was like, you just waited like a couple weeks, because Kling, I just usually wait till it gets on Higgsfield, because then you have, I don't have to buy into Seed Dance. I can just get Seed Dance. And what's interesting too is there sometimes is a difference between using it on platform, their own platform, and using the API which Higgsfield uses. So sometimes you can notice a bit of the difference, but sometimes you don't get all the capabilities that they've kind of skinned on top of it on their own platform. So
right.
Yeah.
But the 24th, it should be on Fall AI, all kinds of places. There are a bunch of more common places that have noticed it. Once again, YouTube is saying that I am spamming our own chat, so I am writing back to you all, and we'll see if I can fix this. I tried to fix it after the show yesterday, but of course, right after the show, the comments go away, so I can't get into the live comment feed to be able to approve myself as not a spammer. This is a wild situation, but
pretty well, yeah,
insane. So I'm actually going to share what just ran for me. Let's see how we can do this. So this is my show prep. Let's go grab here. No. All right. Let's just grab this. No, apparently I'm not going to do any of it. All right. That's fine. I will open it in another thing. So I started the show prep late today. I started running before we got on. It's 16 minutes after the air, and the browser window just opened up with the end of the automation. And I've talked about this a little bit before, and I thought I was going to be able to show it, but it opened in Safari. And StreamYard wants to open up a Chrome tab, so I will figure that out. Okay. One of the things that we didn't cover yesterday, but is something that happened, and it's actually pretty interesting. So Figma and Claude had announced a design development workflow that is code to canvas. Now, canvas to code has been available. That is something that you have been able to do. But the reverse, you have developed a code situation, it's working really how you want, and now you want to pivot to Figma and be able to edit it more in a design kind of way, is a new integration. And basically it lets developers send UI built in Claude code directly to Figma. And while developers are wonderful, wonderful people, and we love them very much, sometimes you want the design to have been not written just by code. You want someone to have put human eyeballs on what that looks like. So I'm excited about it. I think that the more pieces that come in that can translate code to something that is going to make it easier for humans to engage, easier for humans to develop, and share with people who don't read code is exciting.
I think that's amazing, because that's where I think the intimidation is, when you have to actually look at code, and if you don't know, there's that. But to be able to just have ways that people can start understanding it, and hence that's why everybody gravitated to like those N8Ns, where it's just super drag and drop, versus because you could technically do all that in code, but that is a very difficult thing to actually see and make work for masses, right?
Right. All right. What else are you seeing?
I also wanted to, so we got the ByteDance thing. I wanted to show this. Where is it? Okay. Share this. This is probably why most people, this is how people think of AI, and this is like the first step of it. So and I'll share the audio too, because I haven't even played this yet, but let me know if you have it on.
There we go. Yep.
Okay, so let me preface this by showing, it goes, breaking: Chinese autonomous killer robots are on track to serve its military on the battlefield within 2 years, setting a course for the new age of AI-powered warfare, which one expert called the greatest danger to the survival of humankind. Let us play the initial videos of what potentially could be where everybody thought Skynet would be.
近日，一场跨域协同作战演练在某战术训练基地悄然展开。与以往不同，此次亮相演兵场的是一支由国产语数系列智能作战单元与机械狼仿生突击平台混编而成的人机协同战术小队。 演练模拟复杂战场环境下对要点目标实施清剿。此次演练重点检验了智能化作战单元在城市战。
All right, this is terrifying, Karl. Today on the Daily AI Show, we have the Apple glasses and pin and Chinese killer robots. Here we go.
The thing is, I don't know if this is AI, but all I know is it seemed real that the person actually putting the weapon in said robot seemed very real. Part of it seemed real. I just don't know what was and what isn't. But
it does, yeah. Chad is saying it's It's looks AI-ish from Cisco. Greg would like a link to that video. And if I put it in the chat, it will be seen as spam. Therefore, Karl will share it either in the chat or in the community. Baby Terminator, Gwen says, yes. Just as I've never seen Chinese robots with working hands, I don't like the shape of the face, the light face kind of things. Is yeah, a little weird. Jeff says normally Chinese robots have hands, but of course, I don't think any military is showing us the current models that they're doing. Unless this is like a propaganda, you're so far behind. There was a conversation happening after that Spring Festival video, right, of the Chinese dancers who were comparing. The video was comparing 2025 capability and 2026 capability, and subsequent discussion talked about why China is so far ahead in terms of robots. And it really kind of came down to, or the theory came down to, because China has the infrastructure to develop like to waste, right? Like there's so much infrastructure that you can be messy and experiment and iterate really quickly. In the US, we don't have that. In the US, we have infrastructure for model development, which is why they were saying the US models are tend to be ahead, because we have that infrastructure to develop and get messy and iterate. But I thought that was interesting.
All I know is, I think what the war in Ukraine has been showing is like, hey, you've got drone warfare. Pretty much that is a big component right now. Like that's a big piece. Yes. So it isn't very far where maybe you won't have this actual physical robot that is shooting, but right. You've seen the Boston Dynamics dog-like robot that can go out, do scouting, do those things. That is very, very, very applicable. So it isn't very just like the movie Section 8, if anyone has seen that's kind of thing that this kind of reminded me of. Yes.
And I want to do a throwback to an older sci-fi AI show because we covered the cockroach robot. We covered the robot pack that you put on the cockroach and like can integrate
mosquito robot.
But I feel like we don't see that now, right? Like, and the cockroach robot was I wish Jyunmi were here. I believe technically it was a cyborg because it was a living creature with robotic interface. And that was gross, right? Let's just start there. But also really, really interesting. Like that could be controlled going into into rubble and those kinds of things. And I feel like we've seen regular dogs, smaller dogs, we've seen bipeds, we've seen rolling balls that then come out and have like spider legs, but we have not seen the cockroach form factor in a pure robot. And maybe that's because why would you do it if cockroaches are basically free and the interface is cheap? But I do find that interesting because we've also seen stories about nanobots, like tiny bots.
Yeah. But those are already, I would imagine some of those are already in field. Like I would imagine some of that type of robotics, especially ones from like a defense perspective, would probably be right in either being developed or in production, just like tiny miniature ones with cameras, like those kind of little, like a very advanced type things that people would have developed or defense contractors would have used. Maybe not AI or bits of AI, but like those must be, if from a consumer grade perspective, you have you have things with very small cameras. I'm sure those kind of things are already, whether in development or being developed.
Well, it's interesting. Now I'm thinking about it because there've been stories about agriculture bots that are able to like detect plant healthy growth versus weed down to like a really minute level. But I have not heard about bug swarm bots that would just go into your field, test the stuff, right? Like,
Yep.
Another $1 billion idea.
Idea, exactly. $1 billion idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I have a quick story. Perplexity. Nobody can say that Perplexity does not iterate and pivot and try things that will be successful. Perplexity has joined Anthropic in the We Promise. After we had ads, we have abandoned ads, and we are joining Anthropic in the ad-free camp as the industry splits on monetization. Now, I have to assume that in many ways, that probably also coincides with the ad program as not being successful, right? And so this seems like a better boat to jump on, I guess. Yeah, no, I see you, Jude. Bro bug bots. There we go.
Well, no, but it isn't just military use, right? There's like,
right.
What could you? I think we've all. Have you seen the video about like the person creating the laser that kills mosquitoes, like the little tiny?
No. Wow.
I would like that, but I also think like, would you shoot part of yourself too? But I guess maybe it wouldn't hurt, but it would just be designed to like I know a couple years ago in Canada, like there was a big mosquito. It was like a big mosquito year, and it was a lot of mosquitoes everywhere. And you know, you have the mosquito coils and all that stuff that you try to get mosquitoes out of there, which also led to a lot of wasps, because a lot of wasps eat a lot of the mosquitoes, in addition to dragonflies and so on. But like that led to a lot of wasps. So now you have like your mosquito coils, and you have your wasp traps, and all over the place too. So it would be interesting to have like at a campground something that would, instead of the laser, something that would deter those things, that a robot that would be like, I don't know, like a deterrent that would spray things or be aggressive to these things. I don't know what that would be. And I just I don't know what that would be called. A mosquito defense bot. I don't know. I would get one of those for sure.
Can you see this? Like, oh, this is your Citronella soldier.
Yes.
It will march around your campsite, right? And
Yes.
the regular analog people are like,
what the heck is that?
$17.
But it would be like this small.
$17 of Citronella candles on sticks. We just like lit them all around.
Yeah. You'd buy like 20 of them, and they'd just be like constantly buzzing, protecting you from. But then they would be as annoying as the mosquitoes. They just wouldn't bite you. So I'm like,
right.
Annoying, or would you want to get bitten?
And you're out of the bubble, friends. Like, is
I don't need the mosquito tent.
Swarm of.
I don't need the mosquito tent. I have my army now. My Citronella army, just hanging around. It's like, okay, gonna deploy them.
As someone with long hair, I want to know where the laser is coming from. Like, I can imagine, like, like mosquito 3:00, and then like a stray hair gets like singed the way that it does when you're cooking on a grill. All right.
No, so did any of you see that video? Did anyone see it?
No.
Okay, I gotta play it because it's Y Combinator that played it, that did it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, not that Y Combinator doesn't support random things, but still.
But yeah. So here, is it okay? So they have this thing, the drone killer. This wasn't the laser. See, you have
That's
your
not the laser one.
fully autonomous deployment.
This isn't real. As far as I know, there are
I
not.
don't think that's real, but again, Y Combinator? Karl, back in November, is building micro drones that kill robots.
I mean, that might be real. I feel like I would have seen something.
Oh, so
about,
okay, here's the one. Here.
Have you not seen the massive swarm of drones just flying above the White House as though like something nope, I'm not gonna say it. As though something's decaying on the property and now we have flies. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, I found the laser.
Oh, good.
So here it is.
This is a genuine laser mosquito zapper.
Okay.
Photon matrix is coming. Advanced LiDAR, high-speed galvanometer, and...
Okay, so 1 second. When this is playing, what's funny about this, and I'll just kind of put the sound down and to kind of play in the background. What's the range of this thing, right? Because like the mosquitoes are buzzing around here. Does it need to sit here? Like, is it gonna like you'd have to have this thing? I don't know where you'd put it. Like, would you like with this person? Would you be like sitting it like yes? What if it's on you? So Anne, what do you put it on your head? Like, is that how you're gonna do it? And it's zapping things.
Yeah, there's a part of this that is also like, is this sort of the equivalent of the robot dog form factor? Like, who doesn't want
that's
something?
how it works.
Who doesn't want something that's going to help protect?
I would never put that in my house. That is outrageously ridiculous to have something like that. Imagine screwing that in your house. Like, do you keep the doors open? Like, is that like the like? It's so stupid. That I can see like on your campsite. That I can see it a little bit better.
Right. And you also don't want it on the table because you just went through people's heads sitting in those empty chairs. All right.
Yes. And what if the mosquito's on you? Like, you're going to get zapped, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's
somebody's going to get zapped by that thing for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make the sound every time.
Yes, you want it to make the sound because you want to hear the mosquitoes dying around you. Like, yeah,
no. You want the signal so you duck, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Everybody down. Okay.
Oh, yes, and can you? So Jude had a good point. Like, could we customize the sound effects? So it's like pew, right?
Okay. That's interesting because Ali Miller had a post. Yes, I'm shifting. That makes me think of a post that Ali Miller posted, I think today, talking about that she has added an audible exhale as a cue for when Claude Code has finished a long project, a long task. And she said she used to have Ilya's voice saying, "I'm coming back to the cottage," maybe, which is a you understand what that means? I know who Ilya is, but I don't understand the reference. But it turned out that was sort of distracting, and it happened once while she was on a call, right? And everybody laughed, but it was a little too much. But the exhale is interesting because the sound of exhale is unobtrusive, but it also generally creates a relaxation response and it doesn't interrupt things. And I've seen lots of ways that people are choosing to set up a system so that Claude Code can notify you if you're doing something and it needs something for you, it wants to highlight that the process has been finished. Karl, do you have something like that? I know you told us before you set something up, went and did laundry, and when you came back, it was done. I don't know if that was cloud code.
Laundry? What?
Oh, you told us. You were like, yeah, no, I did a thing. It was autonomous.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I thought you were talking about something doing laundry for me. And I was like,
no.
When did that happen? And how come I can't remember that? That would be fantastic too. So what sorry, what did what were you?
Something that tells you when the thing is done. Do you have a notification set up with your agents or process for Cloud Code or Codex or something?
For my laundry? No, I don't have that.
No, not for your laundry.
No.
When you set
That's an undiscovered feature of Cloud Code. It can do your laundry, but no one has heard of it. And I'm not telling one person that it actually can do that.
Oh, Andy and Brian, you may not want to leave Karl and Beth on the show alone. We are clearly. Here we go. No, the story that you told was setting something up, and then you went and did laundry, and you came back, and it functioned without you.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of things that you could like, but those are the things in like Claude Code and Codex that you can just go off for hours now and have it, whether it's building things. So what I actually want to show is the speed of Codex. So I'll give you an example here. Let's say
So this is Codex
Spark.
Like Snapper, Zapper. Nope. I'm still in the other
Codex Spark.
Codex Spark. Cool.
Yeah, Codex. So here's Codex, but then you have Codex Spark, which is kind of interesting because you can set the reasoning level of Codex Spark, but I wasn't really sure. Anyway, so the folder that I'm in it's called document controls. It's one of the departments of a client of ours. So what usually I do is take the summary and transcript and have it do some work with it. So, and then, but what we can just make this a really quick thing. Give me a second here. I'm just gonna open another folder that is this. I'm gonna put this. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in. I'm just gonna put the zip file in here. And then all I'm gonna do, because the Codex Spark is in there, is like execute the discovery session analyzer zip with the summary and transcripts in this folder. Something simple like that. So I'm not looking for obviously my prompt would be a little bit better than that, but what I'm actually trying to show is the speed of this. Because usually when I do this, in Claude Code, Cowork, it takes about a minute, probably even longer, 2 minutes around there, average, sometimes longer, sometimes not. This thing is ridiculous. We can even count.
Wow.
6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8, 9, 10, done. That is the fastest I've ever seen anything do what I'm trying to do, because what it's doing is analyzing these two, going web search, analyzing potential solutions, and then I would put it into my Notion. I would work on it. I'd look through it. But did you see how fast that was?
Yeah. And what are the files you gave it, and what did you ask? Because that's a little small for.
Okay, so what I asked it to do was I wanted to take the skill, just the skill that I built from Claude. I would take the discovery session analyzer skill, and what that skill does is it goes through the summary and the transcript of a 1.5 hour session we have with a department with one of our clients, scrapes that, reviews that, analyzes it. I have a format that I want to put it in, so it puts it in that format, and then it goes off to search.
Mhm.
In addition to some other things that I tell it to do, and come back with non-AI solutions, potential AI solutions, which I still have to review, roadmap and everything.
Mhm.
And that's usually, again, it takes about 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes because I usually use ChatGPT extended to do that
Mhm.
review. I use Claude Opus 4.6 to do that review, just to give me 2.
Right.
I did it in Codex Spark, and I was like, holy smokes, that was, you counted, that was under 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
that,
one of the reasons that Karl is showing us this is that Spark right now is still only available for pro subscribers,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So, so technically, so Greg, anything you do with Claude Code, try it with Codex. Mind you, Codex is super fine tuned to actually code, so why would you do it? But the key thing here is they're testing Cerebrus on like a very, very niche coding, but they want to make sure the infrastructure is right. But could you imagine this in ChatGPT? Like
Mhm.
a very complex thing, extended thinking, heavy thinking, research pro thinking, like cut
Mhm.
that into, I don't even know how fast, which is why I don't think they're just gonna give this to everybody, because the inference on this would be, I don't know what that would mean, but the speed of this with that level of intelligence is something outstanding. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, and that's a really great point, because you want the speed to be able to be used for very intentional products or
Yes.
projects or
Yes.
tasks. And speed also often is associated with throwaway, right? Well, it was like, this is going to be fast, so I'll
Yeah.
just hit Spark with every thought I have.
Correct.
I
Or
want to make
multiple
sure that,
instances of Spark and get like, but
right.
now just think of like when I run code on this, it does spin up its agents, but how fast it is, mind you, I get rate limited very quickly. Like this, they don't want you to hang out with this for like, they will not be running 24 hours on this thing. But I can just see, it's like, imagine OpenAI, like OpenAI Frontier on enterprise running this.
Mhm.
Right? Like, well, I know they have a partnership with Moderna. Like, think how fast research with something like this is. That's the speed. Like, you know how like we're so used to having it think through.
Mhm.
The speed of ChatGPT Instant with Research Pro thinking reasoning level is that I just thought that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I like, for me, it makes me sit back. I have not done an open claw yet. Uh, I think my first claw
I
is
would.
gonna be
Here's
droid.
one thing I want to just, sorry, Beth, I just want to quickly just put in there. When you're running OpenClaw, and I know a couple people have, what people don't tell you is if you actually want to make it work, you better have the funds to do it. Like,
Yeah.
it is expensive because of like, if you wanted to do real stuff, the token cost of it is like, yeah, you'll be sometimes running, even at the All In podcast, Jason Kalinakis was saying, is like, you better have like $100 to $300, be able to spend that in a week, maybe sometimes a day. And I'm
Right.
like, that's not really worth it.
Well, and like, that goes back to the souped up um Mac Studio, because that gives you the opportunity to run a high caliber agent 24 hours that you can run on the system. So now you're mostly paying for energy costs, right, as you're building things.
Yeah.
And that, like, people have talked about that, that is a $10,000 investment. That, you don't have to have the $300 days, $300 weeks for that $10,000 investment to seem like, yeah, no, okay,
Yeah.
I can make that 10 grand back. Gareth's saying make sure your storage is clean as well. I find myself wanting to have something that I can justify doing an automation that I can't be satisfied with it doing it in N8N or something, right? Or co-work browser operation. Do I need it in like 10 seconds? Am I okay with it in 5 minutes? And I just haven't found the use case where that's a significant value add for me.
Well,
And
here's something.
there's a thing about it happening so fast that, like Every said, so fast it blows your hair back. It happens so fast. It's faster than you can think your thought that you were going to think after
Yeah.
you gave it the task, right? Like, and now I shall turn my attention. You're back. Excellent.
I haven't even had time to turn my attention, right? So it's like, but then, so here's what some people have noticed, and I've kind of noticed too, just a little bit, is that because you know all these full capabilities, right? Run codecs, run code, run Claude Code, run cowork, whatever it is you're running. I also start noticing, I start doing more because, and not, that's not necessarily a good thing. It's like, I was like, yeah, I could do more, but my mind is racing from one subject to another, not focused because, oh, my discovery session is being done. So now I'm going to switch topics to something else, to something else, to something else. But my mind can't focus back to, like, when I get to discovery, yeah, I'll sit down, I block off like, whatever minutes and really focus on that. But as AI gets more integrated in, my mind, like, I'm shifting too fast. Like sometimes I'm fishing a little too much because it's like, I need to get focused on this so I can, put my brain into this rather than here's 20 things I'm running all at the same time, but I'm not really focused. I'm just literally letting the AI run that process until I get to it. But then it is tough to shift from one thing to another really that quickly. Get your in-depth creativity, like all the stuff that your judgment and all that into it. It's a little bit hard. Some people may be able to do it. For me, I need to be very, very like diligent about cutting everything off and just focusing on the task so I can put my actual thinking into it rather than having 20 things running and just touching it.
Yep.
Maybe that's kind of the new way of doing things, but yeah, it's very different.
I have spent a fair amount of time developing a relationship with Claude Code in terms of this is how I need you to work with me. I mean, it's still an ongoing process. But one of the things that, one of the concepts that we've had, I'm sorry, I don't smoke anymore, but I did used to. Like one of the shorthands is if I don't know what's happening when I come back, hey, light the cigarette for me. Or when I give the instruction and I'm going to go away, make sure there's a lit cigarette when I come back so I can jump right into it. But I use the compound engineering plugin again from Every. I don't work for Every. Every does not sponsor me. Hey, would love that. That's just fine if that wants to happen with the show. But I do really like what they've done with their developing products. And Kieran Clausen, who is the product developer of Quora, which is their email inbox management system. And he created compound engineering plugin so that it would make it easier for him to do the work. And it is great. And it has 5 stages: brainstorming, planning, work, which is when it actually happens, review, and then compound. And the idea is that everything that you do makes the next thing that you do easier because of the compounding process, the review and the compounding process. I say that because I have found that it is helpful if I'm going to do multiple projects at the same time. Each is in a different of those stages, right? I can brainstorm here. I can set up the work over here. I can go to the work. Now we can move that into review. I can, right? Like I can bounce around, and that works easier for my head to distinguish not just the 5 projects that I have open, but the 5 stages of the product or project. Yeah. Gareth. It doesn't have to be a cigarette. It could be something else you smoke sometimes. Okay. Nice. Midnight Toker. Yeah. Thank you, Jude. I will be singing that for the rest of the thing. So we're just about at the end of the top of the hour because we're gonna we both have meetings at the top of the hour. What is something you want to leave folks with? Some sort of last thought?
One thing that I just had a call with international like potential client and this morning, and one thing that we got to keep aware of too, and we've talked about this, is like, there's a bubble and then everyone else is like actually not there. But we also have to think from a global perspective too, like, and I don't know what this is, but like where people are around the world is also very different. Because we're here, we're pushing the tech, we're in the bubble itself. We know the future capabilities. I think, by the way, Gemini 3.1 is in Google Studio, available now, like things like that, like they're coming out. But for example, this group, they're trying to build on premise with what I would argue would be technology that is already 7 months old, 8 months old, and they're not going to be done until September. So by September, they'll have their full thing ready. That would now be how many, mind you, they are using open source models. Like I think it was Quen the last time, but the last time they were building, they were using the previous version of Quen, which now the new version of Quen is released. So I'm sure they can add these components, but yeah, it's just an interesting observation where people are around the world, not just in North America, and I would imagine in China, because that's the big competition in right now.
Right. Part of the certification that I got from She Leads AI was teaching classes to women in certain less developed parts of the world. And one of the strategies for teaching the class was to assume that they're on their phone and that their connection will drop multiple times during the call. Yeah. Right. So like you showed the screen, but when you asked for feedback, it was like, press 1 on your phone, right? Because now they're going to have to take it and do something with it. Keep orienting people back, assume half your audience is dropping. Yeah. When you think about the different levels of access and how much
country, like what their rules are for that, which could be very strict, not strict. I don't know what that would be.
Right. Well, and these were, this is a particular, obviously people are interested in this. These are probably the most knowledgeable AI people in their community in that context. But it was very exciting and yes, very eye-opening in terms of what we have access to that starts to become normal, right? It's you know, when you travel to some part of the world where the faucet, turning a faucet on and just getting running water is not a regular thing, you start to really have that like, okay, yep, there are some fundamental things in the world that I just take for granted that aren't actually across the board. Everybody doesn't have access.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that deep note, go try Gemini 3.1 in AI Studio. I do know that some people were starting to see it roll out in Ultra and Pro. I have not received it in Pro yet. And let's see what's different with that. They also dropped, Google has dropped a couple different things.
I think tomorrow would be great because I think Brian's here and I wanted to go over, I think he would be perfect because he's way more bigger into music and in that scene than I, like Google Lyra, I think like would be an awesome thing to talk about tomorrow. Which in the meantime, what I was doing is I created this stupid 90s track on killer mosquito robots, but we can play that tomorrow.
All right. Come back tomorrow because of course, friends, everyone wants to hear that. All right, Karl, I know you need to bounce. I am going to bounce too. Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.